Hooked On Fishing was brought to you by Matamata Sports World. For all your friendly advice and service, see us first. Hi, Chris Bungard, helping you plan your weekend's fishing. Well, looks like a lovely weekend coming up if you're not amongst the farming fraternity. Funny, I seem to have said that last week. It's getting pretty dry out there, although this area around the Matamata here is looking pretty good, and up if you go slightly north through Hiniwai and through those areas there, it's very dry. But come back to the local trout fishing around the place. There's some good opportunities. This weekend should be a lovely fine weekend. If you want to get out with the family, some of the little rivers and streams around the place offer some fantastic fishing. Like, for example, the little Waihau River there at Whites Road. Now you can go up Leslie Road, go into Whites Road, which is on your left just before Pataru if you're on State Highway 1. You go into Whites Road and then you go over the bridge, which is the Waihau running under it. You can go into Leslie Road and you can take the family for a walk in there and take your rod and reel with you. The water is absolutely gin clear. It's just beautiful. Now, if you go in there, you can have a picnic and all that sort of thing. And as I said, take your rod and reel and you can see the fish in there. The clarity of the water is that good. You can just see them and you can target them. It's just a lovely place to go for a walk and introduce yourself into a little bit of fishing. Lake Arapuni and Karapiro, now they are two lakes that are really starting to fish well at the moment. What you've got there is, of course, you've got these cold streams coming in there. I was talking to a chap during the week about Arapuni. Now, the upper reaches of Arapuni, right up the top below the Waipapa Dam, there's a little stream comes in there called the Tumai, and just below that is the Mangafu. Now, both these streams are carrying cold water into that lake. Now, what the trout love to do in this weather, when the thermocline level gets in there, they love to get down under that thermocline level, or they'll sit in a stream mouth where the water's lovely and cold. Now, what you can do, sometimes they won't feed when they're in those stream mouths, but the good thing about Arapuni and Karapiro is you can use worms in there. Now, it might sound a little bit agricultural to the, the ardent fly fisher and all that sort of thing, but to be fair, it's a great place to take your family. You can head up there, anchor your boat up at the mouth of these little streams, and literally, a bit like stray lining for snapper and that, just put some worms on, flick your line into the mouth of those little rivers and let it go out into the lake, and you'll be surprised what you can catch. I took my kids up there years ago, and the first trout that my son got, Adam, was an 8-pounder, and he went, "Oh, they're not very big, Dad," because he'd been used to catching carwai and stuff. I said, "Son, some people go all their life and not get an 8-pounder." So tried some of these places out. We really are blessed around the Waikato here with fishing opportunities. In the Rotorua region, Glenn Skinner down there is very happy with the Lake Rotowedi. Tararua is fishing at the moment. The thermocline levels coming in. The trout are sitting down around about that 20-foot mark, just under that warmer water on the top, and they're sitting in that cooler level and make for some very good fishing at the moment. Jigging in particular is going really well. In the Taupo region, head off to Taonga Taupo and the Tongariro. Those two rivers at the moment are carrying some beautiful fish. They're a little bit mixed, and because they're low and clear at the moment, you get out those little dry fly patterns in the evening, and during the daytime you can get into some of those deeper pools and weight a nymph down into there, and a little dry fly on the top as an indicator. Some very nice fish being caught there. Out on the lake itself, early morning trolling's been good, and early morning harling at the change of light. On the sea fishing scene, the west coast, it's beautiful out there at the moment. The conditions have been great. The snapper are a little bit spread all over the place at the moment. In fact, they're getting them in quite close, around about that 28, 30 metre mark. Out around Gannett Rock, there's some lovely kingfish out there at the moment. Take some liveys with you if you can catch some of those. Or the old jig fishing seems to be going at the moment. Around about a 150 to 200 gram jig, and the blue and green colours seem to be doing the trick out there at the moment. In the Coromandel region, the tides are very big for the weekend. In fact, this week they're the biggest tides we've had for a long time. New moon in the middle of the week, about Wednesday. Now, what that does, it gives us big tides this weekend, so there'll be quite a bit of tide run. The high tides around about midday. Now, if you're into gathering your shellfish and you've got a favourite spot where, like maybe Papamara areas like that, then low tide in the evening around about 5 o'clock on Saturday and about 6 o'clock on Sunday. Of course, long weekend, you can have Monday off if you've been very well behaved. You get out to some of these places for gathering shellfish. But now back to the fishing scene at Coromandel, excuse me. What it is there is you've got some very big tides, so you've got high tide around about midday, low tide early morning, so you can fish that incoming tide in the morning. Very good. Now, the incoming tide up there, according to the experts up there, Daryl, who's running the mussel barge, the incoming tide at the moment seems to be the best. So get there early morning, or another tip I would give you would be to fish in the evening when the low tide's around about 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock on Saturday and Sunday, and fish the first hour or two's lift of the tide coming into the change of light. That should be very, very good. Over the hill into the Mercury Bay region, it's all about game fishing over there really at the moment. There's quite a few marlin being caught, there's yellowfin being caught. Big congratulations to Vaughan Mitchell. Went out on our boat Leander the other day and took out Shane and Gavin Whelans from Whelans Transport. Now Shane got himself a nice marlin, smoked it up in the smokehouse. It was absolutely beautiful. So well done, boys. That's a very nice fish. Now, if you are going out into the Bay of Plenty and up around the Mercury Bay region, take a good game lure with you and a bit of heavy gear, because there is a good opportunity out there at the moment. Get yourself a game fish. If you'd like to get a new reel to go snapper fishing, then you Kilwell, of course, have come to the party once again for the month of January. You can get in the draw for that reel by giving us a call on 0508 647462. That number again, 0508 647462. This has been Chris Bungard helping you plan your weekend's fishing. Hooked on Fishing was brought to you by Matamata Sports World. For all your friendly advice and service, see us first.